Crazy Raccoon and Nightmare. This is going to be Zoomer Energy going up against Bloodlust and Revenge. Who's going to come out on top? We're going to find out very soon as the teams are getting ready to take to the stage in Hangzhou. As I said, they met very previously, literally just a day ago, and Nightmare, the big surprise, came out on top. Of course, the big question is, can they do it again?
Zoomer Energy. That's the title of the VOD. Zoomer Energy game.
Ash is never getting away from this.
It's too late.
Ash's legacy.
But imagine if they do it, though. Imagine if she's going to look like a genius.
True.
Well, let's see. Can they get it done? Let's send it back to our stage once again.
And now, stepping onto the battlefield, let's hear it for
Nightmare. Well, they had a dream yesterday, and that dream was to beat Crazy Raccoon. They successfully did it. However, beating them again after Shu, Lip, and in fact the entire roster looked pretty glum, pretty angry and annoyed on the stage yesterday after walking off. They're going to need some big Zoomer energy to win this series.
Coming up next, Crazy Raccoon!
Crazy Raccoon, they have something to prove, and that is to stick it to the final Western team that is left in this bracket to repeat history against Team Falcons.
Man, yeah, pride on the line here, definitely for Crazy Raccoon. They want to make this one a statement piece. I'm relieved to see smiles on the other side of Nightmare. Let's just have fun with this. Can they repeat it? We'll find out in just a second as we're sending it over to our casters for this one. It's Johnny and Jake.
Thank you so much, Zoe. We're really excited to be casting this one. It's an incredible opportunity here today for both of these teams. You know, we've seen Nightmare, they have the vision, the strategic intelligence to take this win. They have the hands, they have the skill to do it. But now I think what's really being tested is the heart. You know, to come away from that series with the Falcons, bruised, bloody, feeling the pressure, feeling defeated, and now to go up against a Crazy Raccoon that are coming with a vengeance, this is a scary prospect, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for Nightmare is that they've done it once before in the upper bracket, and that inspires confidence going up against Crazy Raccoon here in the lower bracket again. Now, Crazy Raccoon yesterday, bit of a dominant showing up against once again where they just completely swept the hometown heroes. But if you're Nightmare, you can't overanalyze that too much. That was a different matchup, different kind of compositions. You gotta focus on what you did great yesterday and build on that. And as we take a look at the map set here, Jake, I think one crucial detail starting off on this series, because Nightmare dropping from the winner's bracket, they get the first map pick and they're going to Lijiang Tower. Crucially, you dodge Ilios.
Yeah, this is does really improve your odds, I think, going on to Ilios.
Wow.
They're going to ban the Wrecking Ball as the opener. Interesting, surprising. I don't know that I would have thought it as that likely, but maybe they're just using this as a tank protect to ensure that you get exactly what you want for Kuffa on this map. The Brig responsive ban from CR is going to prevent that Brig Juno setup that we've seen be really dominant. I think that's not a support backline that Crazy Raccoon want to play that favors them, and so this ban makes a lot of sense to me. Have to see what it comes out to. I kind of like this, though, for Nightmare. I think that if they make this game a rush game, a battle of team play, that's where they're strong. That's where they have the chance to take it to Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it yesterday, but I think Nightmare, they're really built on the concept of speed, right? Like doubling down on speed heroes. So yes, Brig is out of the pool here. You cannot play that Juno Brig kind of composition, but that gives you more access to speed heroes that potentially could challenge someone like Shu in the backline. You could get to that backline of Crazy Raccoon. Typically, when we've seen teams go head-to-head against Crazy Raccoon, they've actually banned the Lucio themselves because they want to get Chorong off that Lucio. Crazy Raccoon, they like to play this signature kind of composition with Chorong on the Lucio and Shu on the Ana. And then they just poke you down, the Wrecking Ball, the Pharah, etc. It's just too overwhelming. We haven't really had someone find an answer to this Crazy Raccoon composition. So now, banning the Wrecking Ball, Nightmare are definitely cooking going into this one. Can't wait to see what they got in order. I'm kind of feeling the speed here, Jake.
Yeah, definitely some source of speed here, very likely to come out, maybe two. Lethal, I think there's a lot of pressure on him to deliver a big game. Zera came up so massive in that previous series against Crazy Raccoon, putting on a generational performance, frankly. Now, I think it's up to the rest of the team to step up to the plate. For Zera, it's too much to ask for to get that same level of peak again. I think he needs to have that inspiration come from elsewhere in the server that he can follow up, that they can build that together. They've got to start off with something in this series. They've got to start to believe again that they can really win. We've talked about this, oh, top 3 for NA, that's so great. But look, these guys, they talked about wanting to be the best in the world. Johnny, this is where that happens. This is where you make that real.
And this is also a great opportunity for them, considering you get that first map pick, you get the first ban as well. They've earned themselves this advantage going into this lower bracket matchup. Nightmare now, you gotta give them a lot of credit. Their play has been superb. They've been playing with precision. They haven't made a lot of mistakes. They've been punishing their opponents, punishing Crazy Raccoon yesterday. Now, like you said, they just need a few of their players to pop off.
Hee-Sang's Pharah has been an absolute weapon on this map. Liv's gonna TP him out. Bridge cross, scary, lethal, takes a conk, now under a bit of spam pressure. Nightmare may have evaded the worst of it, but Shu's Ana is also on the field. Got to be so cautious with the amount of spam that can come down. Liv on the Tracer. Looking deadly here, diving in, big damage onto lethal, being flanked, cleaned up by Hee-Sang's rocket. Kappa forced back, Zero falls now, and Raccoon have full control of this first midpoint.
And this is where it gets scary for Nightmare. Playing that Lucio Kiriko composition, so... Oh, Lethal swats over to the Widowmaker here. Can he find something, perhaps?
Just clearing out the spawn camp, threatening Hee-Sang from any kind of over-aggressive forward spam. But Shu on the Ana, seizing the tempo here. I dare say that Kiri has been the far more popular pick in this tournament, in this composition, but Shu says no. He says, pass me the ball, I got this one. And honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to ignore him the way he's been playing this tournament yesterday. Nice conk off by Hee-Sang, Kappa in the drink. Nightmare reeling, Crazy Raccoon taking everything. They will be merciless, make no mistake, Johnny. They did not come here for a competitive game, they came here for domination.
I talked about how Nightmare, they haven't committed a lot of mistakes, and getting first picked right like that is stuff that just cannot happen. Zero and Admiral, they're taking this little off angle here. Kappa now, contesting for the point. Besides, things better a bit, but the pulls.
Oh, he's dead. Shu, low. Nightmare, need to find a counter kill here if they want to make this one winnable. Zero forced to recall already. Crazy Raccoon regrouping well, taking a bit of spam pressure on the backline, but they're so difficult to fight. And Junmin zapping away at the backline. The cleanup, of course, it's Shu.
Crazy Raccoon now with ultimates. Shu has that nano, could apply it onto Junmin. Hee-Sang as well. Opportunity for a barrage here. Ultraviolet has this Kitsune Rush, but can be hard to stay alive long enough to get value out of it. You don't want to drop it too aggressively because you'll get punished, of course. But they're working the bridge here, so I might just go for it.
My eyes are on Shu, man. What can he do with this nano, with the Ana toolkit? Has the space to work with. They're trying to clear Junmin off the bridge. Forces the back jump. Opportunity now for Nightmare. Stepping up to the plate. Early V from Admiral. Under pressure. Counter dive from Hee-Sang, but finding no kills.
Stays alive.
Even with the nano barrage. Nice opening trade with Junmin with the primal. Player advantage for Crazy Raccoon. Nightmare have to fight this one out. Here's the rush from UV. Zera fighting against the world. Surely too much to do. Junmin still healthy on the point. First round slipping out of their grasp. Look, Hee-Sang snatch any shred of hope away from Nightmare, and it's a 100-0 beatdown. Johnny, I said they'd have to start hot, start with something. They got nothing.
Absolutely nothing on the board for Nightmare. A little bit of cope for you though, Jake. I'd say out of the three stages, out of the 3 stages, I'd say this is probably the strongest one for Crazy Raccoon here on Lijiang Tower.
Pharah looks so dominant. Honestly, I really just always favor the team playing Pharah on Garden, especially in this meta. Just so many options for the play, whether you're diving in, whether you're spamming, knocking people off the map, just puts a lot of pressure. And Nightmare, they need to start fighting back. They cannot give up maps in this series. They cannot allow Crazy Raccoon to build up a head of steam. We've seen what the Raccoons will do when they have the opportunity to get aggressive, to stay aggressive, to put you on your back foot. Nightmare coming out into the mid-fight. It's a fresh round, an opportunity for Kava on the comfort hazard.
So look to Zero here now on the Tracer. Not taking the Pharah duel with Hee-Sang like we've seen Zero do before. Instead opting for the Tracer, more mobility, work these off angles, take these flanks. Capitalize on the railgun shots from Lethal. Admiral can't get caught here.
Low, cleaned up, trying to play the off angle. Shu is low at the same time. Nightmare, maybe they can trade this one back. But Junmin's Winston, nothing they can do about him. Just holding down this position with the bubble, denying any kind of a walk up. And Nightmare, they're reeling right now, Johnny. They're struggling. And Crazy Raccoon playing with total confidence. Jumping over the top on the high ground, ready for that dive if you overstep your mark. Lethal, under pressure on the Sojourn. Now it's Kuppa, forced to back jump, forced out.
Damage.
Zero finds Heesang.
Huge pick, actually.
That's what they needed. Opening kill. Now here's Admirable. Backflanking on the point, starting to poke from the other sides. Nightmare healthy, Junbin is low. This could be the opportunity for a flip, but Crazy Raccoon give up nothing for free. Nice spiked wall by Kuppa, catches Lip.
Didn't even have to waste an ultimate for it. Ultraviolet gonna come up on that Kitsune rush, and that'll be a crucial tool. Looking forward to the next fight here. Nightmare. Bit of a gift there from Crazy Raccoon. Contest the point there, capture it, and now you're set up.
Nothing given for Tree. Johnny, nice shot by
Another
Lethal.
pick.
That is a critical pick onto Chorong. Admiral traded right back though. Crazy Raccoon still want to get into this. They still have something to say. Shu on the high ground though is going to struggle to maybe move forward into this point. It's a scary spot to play Ana. Stepping up is very risky into the pace that Nightmare can bring. Flanks coming in. Far spam as well. Kuppa holding the point. Crazy Raccoon have the opportunity to go in, make some kind of a play. Lip, Pulse Bomb goes wide. Lethal standing strong. Now, Crazy Raccoon step up, force the cap. Nightmare need to make something happen. Nano onto Shu. Shu's already dead though, and they've kited this Winston Nano. Immaculate play so far from Nightmare. Kuppa low, but the pressure being split perfectly, and it seems like they're not going to give the flip.
Great stall by Kuppa on the point, allows Nightmare to continue capturing percentage here. Crazy Raccoon, they can't find the opening. Junbin commits to Primal.
Primal is massive here, Johnny. Huge threat. Maybe the cleanup now starting to come in. Shu over to the Kiri. Wants to match the pace of the game, wants to bring some of that dynamism. Oh, and a nice Goomba from Junbin. Stood on Kuppa's head there to prevent the wall climb up. That's dirty. That is dirty.
Still though, Nightmare with a lot of capture percentage there. And Crazy Raccoon, I mean, they were forced to use the Kitsune themselves and the Primal. Heesang with the barrage here.
Barrage and the choke is massive.
Admiral can make a huge play here with the sound barrier.
You got to be so careful though. The threat of the Ajax is incredibly real here. Farah
He's
hovering
looking
right
for
over
it.
the top. Here it is. Looking for the connection. Admiral low. Didn't Ajax though. Didn't force the beat. Something decent. Zera trying to stay alive behind. Being hunted now by Chorong, by Lip. Forced into the recall.
He's gonna get chased.
Lethal.
Lethal.
Gonna commit elsewhere in the fight. Wits is extremely low. Needs a connection on a jump, and he grabbed Mega. Headshot follow-up. Is there more? Perfect connections out of Lethal. Shuts down the tank from Crazy Raccoon. Opportunity for Nightmare. They get the early flip in the fight. But recalling off the map. Lip. A rare mistake from one of the best players in Overwatch, but you need that for Nightmare, and you need to run with it. Heesang as well on the high ground. Doesn't want to get cleaned up, but may have no option. Look at him dancing around, but there's the follow-up. And the point has been Nightmare's hands this whole time.
Nightmare here actually coming up on double support ultimate themselves in a great position here to close out this point. Chorong
Lip forced to
with
recall.
the sound barrier. We're on Ajax watch here.
Oh, it's such a threat from both squads. Bait from Admiral, same time from both teams. They're looking to focus fire kills. Lethal in the crosshairs. Crazy Raccoon, pulse bomb attempted. Oh, and pulled in by Heesang. What a sick combo follow-up. Admiral low, Ultraviolet. Don't think he can pop the Kitsune rush. At the same time, those were some important ults out of Crazy Raccoon. Nightmare have the time for the retake, but they're only going to get one shot. And this is the round. This is the map potentially being threatened by Crazy Raccoon.
Ultraviolet with the Kitsune rush here. But so does Shu and Junbin coming close to that Primal Rage. Junbin is a real playmaker with this Primal Rage. Could make all the difference here to close out Lijiang Tower.
Primal is a problem. Zera dueling, but under the watchful eye of that enemy Farah. Such a scary spot to be. Needs a bit of heal to move in on the flank. Junbin inching ever closer to that Primal. And Lethal, he's found opening picks before. But in this moment, surely it's too much. Rushes, now traded on the point. Chorong takes out Zera. Player advance to Raccoon. Ultraviolet low, cleaned up, barrage over the top, and this is Crazy Raccoon taking map one. Nightmare had a chance in this second round, made it competitive, found a bit of footing in this series, but in the end, it's the Raccoons going up 1-0, and that's the start they were hoping for. This was your map pick, Nightmare. It wasn't enough. These guys are just too good on control.
Crazy Raccoon. They looked so dominant here in the lower bracket. Virtus Pro, once again, all eliminated by Crazy Raccoon. And now up against Nightmare here in the lower bracket final. It's been so tough to deal with Crazy Raccoon when they play that composition. The Farah, Heesang was doing fantastic work. Junbin as well on that Winston. You know, it really is Crazy Raccoon's composition. It's something they brought out last year in 2024. And they really became experts on that composition. No one can really match them when they are on those signature heroes. And again, every time on control, whether it's Ilios, Lijiang Tower, so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I like that Shu went over to the Kiri midway through that second round. I think the Ana was getting targeted. It's a difficult map to play Ana on. Shu was feeling it, but then he makes the swap over to the Kyrie. They're able to play more dynamically. And in general, it felt that Nightmare were a little bit passive throughout the map. I mean, I think round 1 being this dominant, this explosive is just it's a very painful way to start the series. And Pharah, such an impact choice there from Crazy Raccoon. I mean, most teams just could not run this composition. Most teams have a hit scan player who can play Tracer, but it is a world of difference between just a Tracer and Lip.
I mean, Lip is the GOAT. There's very few players, like you said, who can do what Lip does on the Tracer, but also on the hit scan heroes. Okay, yeah, we had to show that right as we hyped up Lip there.
Look at this.
But
the conk into that. Oh, that is so
just insane.
That is a tip your flex DPS situation.
Incredible play there. Yeah, I mean, for Crazy Raccoon here, Nightmare.
Surely we're going to a King's Row and Ana ban. Surely. I mean, that was a winning strategy previously.
Yeah, it was.
Why change anything? I think that it also takes Suravasa out of the mix, which is a huge threat given how good Crazy Raccoon are on those highly dynamic map types. I feel like that should be the pick, very likely to be the pick, but Crazy Raccoon obviously expect this too. They lost to it yesterday. They have had time to review, to adapt, to make some changes. I think some of the comps they ran yesterday were a little bit wonky. I mean, we were hitting the Soldier on New Queen Street. I think Shu also went San on King's Row. I didn't like that pick. I thought it was a little bit too greedy against a team as good as Nightmare. A star player like Zero on the Genji, that's an opening for him. So I think they might have a different approach this time.
Yeah, and something else we saw on King's Row was that Max came in instead of Junbin and played that Hazard as well. And when I saw that match play out, I thought Max at times leapt in on the Hazard but got punished for it. You know, in the previous map on Lijiang Tower, we saw Koffa sometimes go for a leap on the Winston, but then Crazy Raccoon, the collapse on the Koffa eliminated him before the series. I feel like Max was kind of the tank player yesterday in that matchup where Max would go for the Hazard leaps and Nightmare would in turn onto Max and pick him out. So as we head to King's Row here, definitely going to be the go-to pick, like you said, after you won this map yesterday. But the real question is, Crazy Raccoon, what changes will they make based on their loss yesterday?
Tank, such a knife's edge role, especially under this kind of pressure on stage. You are the one who has to open things up for the team. You are the one who has to create space and opportunities when no one else can get in. You have to put your body on the line. And Crazy Raccoon really punished it aggressively. I love the Genji ban, actually. Respect ban on Zero, but Genji is just so high impact on King's Row in general. The ability to go high to low is just so massive. I mean, it's kind of why we don't see that much Tracer on Kings, is because Genji is just better, even in a classic Winston comp and a Hazard comp. Oh man, it's on another level. I wonder, without this Genji, will Nightmare be able to hit that same level of aggressive tempo? Will they even go with the Hazard?
I mean, Zero was even saying it yesterday in the winner's interview. The question was, how did you bounce back after that loss on Ilios? And Zero said, well, we selected King's Row. It's a comfort map for us, but also crucially, I got to play the Genji, which is my strongest hero. Zero felt really confident on the Genji. So Crazy Raccoon here banned Zero's comfort pick, which, I mean, that's a massive sign of respect. But Crazy Raccoon, we've talked about their flexibility as well. Hee-Sang, so many other heroes that Hee-Sang can play here. You know, you look at towards the Pharah, for example, or other heroes available to him. But Nightmare, how are they going to adapt with this Genji ban in place?
That's going to be the big question. Also curious to see, do we see Max come in again? Or will Crazy Raccoon, will Coach Moon just put the trust in Junbin? They've made that call before. It has looked great for them before. I mean, Junbin is just a monster, honestly. You know, like, we talk about him as a main tank player, but with the level of just raw skill that he has, I feel like there's an argument for just running it with these 5.
Yeah, and I mean, Junbin has shown it before that he's insanely clutch. Thinking back to OWCS Dallas last year, a year ago, Junbin was the Grand Finals MVP because he came out clutch with Rodok swaps, with Wrecking Ball play, which we hadn't seen all tournament long. So when it mattered most, Junbin remains in the lineup here for Crazy Raccoon, and now looking to repair the damage that was done yesterday on King's Row.
And Crazy Raccoon sticking with their guns. The Pharah Tracer, you can't really question it. The way that Hee-Sang has been performing on the Pharah has been immaculate. The perks have really taken Pharah to a new level, giving her massive consistency across these maps. We've seen a lot of teams ban Pharah on King's Row.
Yeah.
The threat that it poses coming over those rooftops, the possibility of playmaking with the barrage, massive. Nightmare still workshopping the comp, thinking about what they're going to play. Have the opportunity to scout the defense and make adaptations that they want to. Zero, though, going to the Tracer. I mean, on Route 66, I mean, maybe the Genji was a cover pick on King's Row, but come on. Anybody who saw that Route 66 map yesterday has got to put some respect on Zera's Tracer. He may be one of the best in the world right now. Lethal also deadly on that Hangzhou, true to his name. And the Brig Juno, I love this for Nightmare. This has been another bellwether comp. He's saying he's gonna have his work cut out for him. No conventional hit scam to go up against him, but Hangzhou, low skybox on this map can be a real problem.
Lethal on the Hangzhou. Can he find the picks required to open up this point?
Instant aggression, Crazy Raccoon swarming over the attackers, not giving them even a moment to breathe to look for picks. Taking the fight directly to that Hangzhou. And here's Lip getting healed up, fighting off Zera, cleaning up the Ram in the backline. Lethal, instant swap over to the conventional hit stand. Maybe Cassidy will be the way, but Crazy Raccoon, if they continue to play with this pace, with this level of aggression, Nightmare need to react, and here it is. The Winston swap as well from them. They want to match the pace. They don't want to try to bunker through it. I think that's a wise call. Trying to survive the onslaught of Crazy Raccoon is an impossible task.
You need to be ready for this aggression now. Crazy Raccoon, they're sitting back, but Junbin threatening here. Zera finds a crucial pick on the Shu, actually.
On Shu, carry for carry, blow for blow. Nightmare up one. This is the opportunity, and they need to strike. They need to open up this opportunity, turn a hole. But Lip strikes right back, taking down the opponent main support. Lethal trade, so still player advantage for Nightmare, closer to their own spawn.
No
Crazy
support
Raccoon,
here.
they're looking for the retake, regrouping, getting the health pull back, giving up a bit of cap time. Awkward for Nightmare though, having to come out of the spawn with Crazy Raccoon controlling that area of the map. They're trying to put some pressure on this hotel area. Raccoon gonna be back at full strength. Pulse bomb for Lip, very close. Needs to get a connection into the backline. Recalling away for now. Low blinks, low cooldowns. Kuffa though, also forced out of the fight. Both teams licking their wounds. Both tanks under immense pressure, dropping extremely low. Lethal, two-tap flip. And Kuffa, very low pressure.
He's stuck here.
Needs to carry it, but there's the support. Ultraviolet gets the cleanup, and this should be the opening cap here. Does Jumpin want to primal this? Would be an insane play. Shu has found one.
Kitsune rush?
Kitsune from Shu. He gets his one. He says, I'm going to rip
Junbin?
this. I'm going for it.
Primal?
Junbin primal. They're all in now. They have to make this hold. Very expensive situation. A fail here would be very costly for Crazy Raccoon, but I think they're starting to put this together. UV and Admiral have stayed alive though, but not Zera under pressure. Couldn't get any support under the pressure of that primal. Now Nightmare though want to strike while the iron's hot, still playing for the tempo. Barrage with the Kuffa. And every ult is being dumped here from Nightmare. Ray and High Noon. No connections, no kills. Admiral rallying as well. Desperate to stay alive, desperate to keep control of the map. Lethal, dove, bubbled, isolated. Pulse moment to Junbin is enough to get it over the line though. With no take, with Liv onto Admirable still. Keeping this in contention for Raccoon. They have no business on this point, and yet 3 minutes are already off the clock, Johnny.
Kuffa is going to build this Primal Rage. Now with a couple players out of the fight, Kuffa, could he come up clutch with this Primal Rage and make a play for his team?
Here it is, Shu down, Kuffa looking for more. Surely, finally, this should be enough. Zera trying to zone away those flankers. Junbin kills Ultraviolet. This is not supposed to happen, Johnny. Falls back in, no ult up for Nightmare. Do they have to finish? 99.5%, you cannot step up this point for Crazy Raccoon. They're coming back into this one by one, stabilizing Junbin onto the Wrecking Ball, holding the point for now. Heesang strikes into the backline, traded away. We need kills, we need opportunities. Zera, is he gonna be the hero for that team? No, Shu immediately bailing out his fellow support. Lethal though, finds Junbin. Bubble on the high ground, standing tall, opportunity here to continue this cap pressure.
Another Kitsune rush.
Shu is a god, unstoppable. Connection though, beautiful, off the blink from Lethal, dumping damage down. The hit scan finally coming into effect. But if Crazy Raccoon keep playing this way, Johnny, I am worried for Nightmare. This is a team that has been in this situation a million times before. Crazy Raccoon, they are playing like this a ranked game. They're playing like it's a scrim. They're just running it down on you. Nightmare, do you have what it takes to stay into this?
Incredible comfort on display by Crazy Raccoon as we take a look at Lethal on the caster here, cleaning up on the point after Shu invested that Kitsune rush. Great play by both teams. So patient, so comfortable. You know, usually we see some teams prefer to play aggressive, initiate, commit, but both teams here, they're trading back and forth.
Big channel in the High Noon. Junbin's gonna be forced away from this. Bubble broken. Nightmare rolling the card forward, but Crazy Raccoon coming up on some key ultimates. Pulse bomb barrage, nearly online. Lip harassing at the back, takes a bit of pressure from the sport, so forcing to re. Has some blinks, pulling attention away. Here's Barrage over the top. Do they see this coming? No, he's in with 3, 4, unstoppable here. Now Crazy Raccoon taking full map control. Tracer being hunted down. Surely no escape for him. Surrounded by the rest of Crazy Raccoon. Zera on 1 HP and even gets delayed on the next spawn wave. They are being surrounded, punished from all sides. The Pharah Tracer, a signature style for Crazy Raccoon, paying dividends. Nightmare under massive pressure, and they are struggling.
And not bad enough that Heesang gets this 4K barrage, but Ultraviolet committed the Kitsune rush. Now swapping over to the Juno. They want this double speed to work out. They want to play with pace, but losing that big ultimate, that could hurt them with only a minute remaining.
So much pressure on Lethal. The onslaught is immense. Chorong has that orbital ray. Kuffa with the primal could be the hero. Maybe it'll be Zero with the pulse bomb. But staying alive itself is a tall task. Torpedoes there over the top. Heesang and Shu find their ones. Now pressure on Cart, but no real threat to win the fight here. Once again, Nightmare sent packing back to the spawn. And where is the team that we saw yesterday, Johnny? Nowhere to be seen on the server. This is all Crazy Raccoon. They are dominating in the tempo battle.
Crazy Raccoon at their best. Last year, winners of OWCS Dallas and the Esports World Cup. Second place at the OWCS World Finals, and now here on Championship Sunday, they want to make it happen once more. Up here against Nightmare in the lower bracket final. Nightmare fighting for their lives here on Kings Row.
Junbin, master in the clutch, has been in these pressure scenarios before despite being a young player, but here's Kuffa into the backline, getting the pin, breaking the corner. Shu dances his way out of it. Lethal though finds Lip in the chaos. No support for the cart. Here's the counter primal from Junbin. Can he bring this one back under massive focus fire pressure? That health pool dwindling by the second. Lethal getting massive heals. Here's Shu with the rally and over the top of the barrage again. Heesang with 4. Refusing to lose. The Raccoons make the hold on second point. It's only Zero, but he's not long for this world. And now Nightmare, Kings Row slipping out of their grasp. Feels like they have to make a full hold here. They have to hold first, but look at the smiles on their faces. Another day at the office for Crazy Raccoons. Chorong's just chilling, man. He's relaxed. He's cool. Shu on the brig, immaculate. And just the full court press here from Crazy Raccoon. You're being hit from all sides. Nightmare trying to play this hit scan, trying to keep Lethal alive, trying to get him into the engagements. But the pressure seems to be getting to them. I mean, they're really on the defense. And Crazy Raccoon is taking liberties in this match.
The Genji ban has really set Nightmare back here. Heesang playing the Pharah to perfection, and Zero just can't match that playmaking on the Tracer. Find a couple of picks here and there, but can't deal with Heesang in the sky, and cashes in with 2 4K barrages there on the defense.
Nightmare need a very big hold on first point. The threat of picks is massive. Zero gonna trust in the Pharah here, gonna take a risk, play for this heavy spam damage. Crazy Raccoon could be a difficult walk up for them, could be a difficult point to capture. But with the way Lip and Heesang are playing, when these ultimates come online, it is a scary prospect. Curious to see what Raccoon go with. They're gonna go with just some scouting heroes for now, seeing what the opponents bring to the defense, making their tactical response. This looks like a team destined to go to the grand finals, Johnny. And Crazy Raccoon gonna go out with the Torp Sim, the classic hazard counter. Zero on the Pharah though, Lethal on the Soldier. I mean, these DPS are gonna be pretty free here. This is a bit of a risky call for Crazy Raccoon, and Kuffa has played against this before.
Sierra here go for a big rotate.
I mean, this is a gambit, Johnny. This comp has been good in the past. Crazy Raccoon were one of the teams to popularize it. But overall, across the board, I like the comp from Nightmare. They evade the second TP rotate, seeing it coming.
So hard for Nightmare, they're gonna get collapsed on here.
Flanked a bit, but can you actually catch people? Far, no, but it's Shu. Does it himself. Here's Junbin finding the second connection. Zero trades one, but now Kuffa surrounded, hit from all sides. Ultraviolet 1 HP, and the Torp Sim. The beam strat comes out in the playoffs, and Nightmare have no answer. They're staying alive behind, setting up for a potential recontest, but the cap is being stacked by Crazy Raccoon. Heesang's back on the Sombra. Very scary spot. Somebody has to come in for the touch. Admiral booped away. Can't get the connection. Now Ultraviolet hacked, finished off by Shu again. And Nightmare crumbling, no support. Surely an impossible task now. Trying to even stay alive, to stay on the map is too much. Lethal kills Lip, catches him sleeping a little bit there. But Crazy Raccoon, it seems like they've just done enough. Shu creates picks where there are no opportunities. He makes it happen.
Bit of a pocket strat coming out here from Crazy Raccoon, and this is something that Nightmare haven't practiced against. Rarely in scrims you get the opportunity to practice the rotations you have to make against an Orisa composition like this, and now Crazy Raccoon with that quick offensive attack on the first point, they bought themselves 5 minutes here to cap out on the second point. Nightmare, it's going to be a momentous task here.
This is a team that's not scared to take risks. Junmin straight to the back line, shoot with the rush. Overwhelming Kuffa, no tank left to make the hold. Nightmare, Zira, Barrage coming soon. Has to be the one to turn this around. Nobody else has the tools to get it done. The cart barreling toward that golden box victory. Here it's Zarissa onto the back line. Zira finds one. Hasn't deployed the Barrage yet. Shu is low as well. There's an opportunity for Nightmare to make something happen. But Zira is down. Shu defeats him in battle. Lethal finds one. Captain contested. Admiral low shield. Punished. Spin on the guard. You have to touch into this. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And Crazy Raccoon maybe getting this over the line. Kuffa's back though. Opportunity, Ultraviolet can heal.
Overclock?
Overclock pop, Lethal. Wants to get a cleanup, wants to reset the attackers. Just gonna force them off the angles. But man, this map rests on the edge of a knife. In 4 minutes, this feels impossible. Here's the beat from behind, Chorong. Flanking in, Shu again onto Ultraviolet. Caught by the downpour, Zira finds two. Barrage opportunity, but the wall on point. So difficult to fight into Sim in this spot. And Lip cleans it up on the Symmetra. What can't this guy do?
Incredible play from Crazy Raccoon here on King's Row. I mean, to bring out the Orisa Symmetra strat here.
These guys are different.
This is not the Crazy Raccoon we saw yesterday when they played Max on the Hazard, New Queen Street. They were messing around with Junden's Wrecking Ball and Lip on the Soldier. This is a Crazy Raccoon squad is coming into the Championship Sunday, prepared, ready to go. Some rare compositions in play.
The weight of destiny is bearing down on Nightmare right here, right now. The fact that they were in that upper bracket, the fact that they could upset Crazy Raccoon, they made history yesterday, Johnny. But Crazy Raccoon, they are eager to forget. They are eager to move on and show what they are truly capable of in this grand final. And they are so damn close. Just one map stands in their way from a berth in the grand finals, an opportunity to snatch that crown back from Team Falcons. They lost them in Korea. They weren't able to take that first place slot. They don't forget that either, Johnny, and I don't think they're gonna forgive it. Nightmare, I mean, this is a dire place to be. The way Crazy Raccoon are playing the last couple days, good God, I do not want to be in their seats right now.
I mean, even if you do force a map 5 here, Jake, you're gonna have to beat Crazy Raccoon on the Ilios as well.
Don't talk about the Ilios, Johnny.
I have to bring it up.
We can't think about that right now.
One map at a time. That's what they say, right? One map at a time?
We cannot think about the fact that we have to play Ilios without any of the most important bands against Crazy Raccoon.
Look, I gotta tell it how it is, Jake, and that was the first thing that come to mind. If Nightmare reverse sweep this, it would be the greatest comeback in Overwatch Esports history. Now, a little copium for you. There are some good things to come.
A little is not enough, Johnny.
There
we need
are
a lot.
A few things to take away from that King's Row. I know that first point offense looked dire for Nightmare. It took a long time to cap that first point, but there are some good signs. You're still dueling with Crazy Raccoon, one of the premier teams in the entire world. You're trading effectively, going back and forth. You just need an extra 10% from your players to win those fights convincingly. Can one member from Nightmare step up? Lethal, can he find an extra pick or two? Zira, can he come out on top on that Tracer duel, depending on where we go next here, of course.
I agree with you. I think pound for pound, Nightmare can stand up to Crazy Raccoon when it comes to a one-on-one situation, when it comes to their mechanical skill. But what I'm seeing out of Crazy Raccoon here is a team that is built to be in grand finals, to have their back against the wall in an elimination scenario. It means nothing to them. They have been here so many times. This is clockwork. This is just what they do, is perform under this level of pressure. And Nightmare, I can't say the same. The way they're playing in this match, it's not I mean, when there was less pressure on them, when they were the underdog and no one expected that they could win, they showed that they had that possibility. And I think Crazy Raccoon were caught off guard. But this is a Crazy Raccoon that now is putting full respect into the match, that has prepared for you, that has, I mean, to be honest, if you're Crazy Raccoon, when you come into this tournament, you're looking at Falcons. You're saying, look, we got one real opponent here. Nobody else touches us ever. Now, Nightmare has joined that group. They have, you know, the Eye of Sauron is turned on them. But it's not so good to play the next match after that. When the, you know, with the Eye of Sauron's looking away, you're feeling all right. You're crossing into Mordor, like things are okay. And then it starts, and then Shu starts looking at you.
Who's Frodo and Sam in this? Who is Frodo and Sam here?
He's looking at you across
Is Zero
the
Frodo? Where are they going?
Look, don't read too much into the metaphors here. Don't question.
Sorry,
my
I
Tolkien
analyze.
knowledge.
That's what I do, Jake. I analyze.
Curious
I love
to
it
see
though. I love it though.
where Nightmare are going to take us. Where are they going to make their stand? You're right. We can't
It's a
think about
tough
map 5.
task. It's
I
a
keep
tough
thinking
task
about
here for
map 5
Nightmare.
Ilios, Johnny. I was trying to cope, and you hit me with the map 5 Ilios.
It has been a taste of what it's like. I love the point you're making. It's just a taste of what it's like when a team like Crazy Raccoon actually prepare for just you, just to take you down. Nightmare here with one
Circuit
map
Royale. Okay.
away from elimination.
Okay.
They're going to Circuit Royale.
I like this because I think what this does is it tries to get Max in the server, but I don't know if Crazy Raccoon are going to fall for that. Honestly, I think like with the way Junbin is playing, I feel like you just run it again. You can also just think, you know what? Even Max coming in, like this is way beyond what the tank is doing. This is a full team playing with massive confidence, with incredible preparation. And the Zen Band is the opener from Nightmare. So mitigating some of those really heavy long-range pick strategies. Also protecting the rest of the support cast. You can play a fast pace. The Winston Band from Crazy Raccoon, interesting. I wonder if Max is going to come into play Sigma, because typically Winston for me is the biggest threat to a Sigma comp. You know, Sigma tends to win all the off-tank trades, just doing the most damage, but the threat of like a Winston Genji snowballing through your backline, you know, cutting you to pieces, getting dash resets, that's what you're worried about. So maybe Crazy Raccoon will say, you know what, call in Max. Let's show that he can also hang in these incredible high-pressure scenarios.
Yeah, I feel like Circuit Royale is a map as well. Traditionally, more of a poke map, as you're seeing Max getting set up here, ready to go on Circuit Royale. But we have seen a few different kinds of compositions here on Circuit Royale. Now, Winston getting banned, especially harmful on that third point where Winston is so very good, right? Like you said, this probably sets up that poke duel. But Kaffa though, like, do you want to opt into that? The fact you banned Zenyatta, maybe you want to play some kind of like more brawl-heavy composition here. They've done that in the past, and if you're up against a Zenyatta playing one of those kind of compositions, then you're scared that your opponents are going to peel away. They're going to retreat, and over time, that Discord damage is going to be overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, I think also maybe the Zen Band protects your Ramatra look, which is, I think, a very comfortable look for Nightmare. One that Kaffa has played often, has quickly gone to in a lot of these scenarios, and has looked great on. And so maybe that is going to be the strat here for Nightmare. Take us to a Ramatra, put Zero on the Genji, and play that fast-paced brawl style that we know North American teams can handle. I think this is a smart pick. I think this is intelligent strategically. I think they've made the right decisions here to set themselves up for a map win. And that's all you can think about right here for Nightmare. Battling back, one map at a time. It has to start somewhere. Why not Circuit Royale?
If nothing else, I'm really confident that Nightmare here, they're going to set themselves up for the best chance possible to get a map in this series and start a potential comeback. It's going to be a tough task with the way Crazy Raccoon have been playing, but Circuit Royale, not a map we saw yesterday between those two teams, so limits the potential for Crazy Raccoon to prepare accordingly for what Nightmare has in store here, and that could be a boon for Nightmare, who are looking for an in here in this series.
And Lethal and Zera, they have been performing in this match. They have been finding their kills, finding opportunities, winning their ones. It's what you need on Circuit Royale. I think a Sojourn Genji look here can be very strong. In general, I think Nightmare is going to get more or less exactly what they want from a matchup perspective. The question is, can they really deliver? Can they turn that into a map win? Building some kind of momentum in the series, and Shu is hovering in Ana. Good Lord, that is scary. I feel like the Brig is a way better hero, but this is Shu. All bets are off.
It is a scary prospect, especially with these high grounds that the defense can access. Going to set up Shu here to land some filthy biotic grenades
I'm not
as they
talking
walk
about
up.
I mean, Shu's accessed the Shadow Realm yesterday. Like, this is not about the high ground. This guy's a demon. Sent to nade your backline.
Look, I'll say it again, Jake. Final boss aura.
Yes. You load in against Shu yesterday, once again. Why is the boss music playing? Here it comes. Nightmare coming out of spawn. Lethal looking for an opportunity on the Widow. He's saying, has elected to the Mei. It's a bit of an odd comp for Crazy Raccoon. The Ana and the Mei, a bit of anti-synergy. Nightmare are all in on the Brawl. The Genji, the Brig. They are going to take it here, bringing the pace, taking the opportunity. The nade from Shu was good, but not enough to secure kills. Crazy Raccoon are going to settle into a more passive pace here. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Lip to be delivering these big rail connections on the Sojourn. And he's got a full charge. Nightmare, you better believe they know what's coming.
Nice deflect from Zera. Stays alive. This opens a window here for Nightmare, and Kappa finds the pick on the shoe.
Critical kill now. Crazy Raccoon struggling on the back foot. Without the Ana, they cannot sustain these positions. They're going to try and hold off, going to try and stall for that respawn to come in, but Nightmare stacking the payload, forcing Max's hand. He has to come in and make this hold. Cuff at the choke point, pressures the ice block out of the Mei. Option to continue to target that, but Shu's back, looking for a nade. Potential to turn this around. These Nightmare players, they know the threat that faces them on the high ground. Max cooldown's running low, and he's saying the headshot out of nowhere on Azira stakes all the wind out of Nightmare's sails. Kuffa is low, Admiral under pressure too. Wallace trapped Kuffa in on the Ramattra. He's trying to tank as best he can, but Max is cleaning up the backline.
And this is the style that Crazy Raccoon want to play with this Mei and the Ana. They want to stall out these fights as long as possible to open fight win conditions with the Biotic Grenade or potentially the Mei Ice Wall. Nightmare, they get the first pick there onto Shu, but aren't able to capitalize on that. A lot of defensive positioning for Raccoon. They can mitigate a lot of damage. Ramattra, of course, one of the more defensive brawl tanks in the game. So Nightmare, they need to find that pick once more, but then capitalize on it and finish out the fight.
Nade on the Kuffa, he's under pressure. Does have that form to stabilize. Speed Ring has been used by the defense. Blizzard, though, for Heesang, could look for something. OC, pop by Lethal, has it up first. Crazy Raccoon playing in cover, trying to survive this. Here's the Blizzard, though, zones off the attackers. No one, it seems, is frozen for the moment, but Zera is so incredibly low on 1 HP. Lethal finds Heesang. Chorong trades it back on a UV. It's a bloodbath here on the point. Kava with the ultimate. Does he want to rip it? Does he want to try to close this one out? Lip has the OC, and without Zera, surely this is a bridge too far, but Kava says no. He's going to rip it. Max forced to trade that back. Ult goes 1 for 1, so not the worst economy trade, but Crazy Raccoon was shooting the Ana on the high ground. Capping this first point feels impossible. They did dump all 5 ultimates to make that happen. Nightmare closing on Bradley Blade. This is very winnable.
And this is how Circuit Rail has been played this tournament. It's very hard to get this point A cap, and even then, point B has been an achievement here at this level of play. Nightmare here. Oh, it's a Biotic Grenade onto Zero and Admiral.
He can't full commit. Shu misses the sleep. Ultraviolet finds Heesang. Kuffa, though, under pressure, trades onto Lip before he goes down. Only Max and Chorong, but they're so durable on this point. Lethal needs to find a kill. They need to clean this one up quickly. Chorong knows the pressure is coming his way. He falls back, being chased now into the backline, but he stays alive.
He just
Max
won't
is
die.
so tanky. He just won't go down. Spawn is coming in for Nightmare. He's staying on the sim. Forced back fast. But once again, Nightmare have been stalled out, caught in the mud. And the threat keeps coming from Crazy Raccoon. No ultimates on the field except for Admiral's rally. But Shu's nade feels like an ultimate. Has been deployed already. Admiral rally on the point. This is a difficult spot for Max now. Under pressure. Has used form. Being attacked. Being bashed. Being threatened. Zera is low. Kuffa slept. And Nightmare just can't get it over the line. Come on. Somebody's got to find something. Players low for Raccoon. Low on skills. But even Sim is stepping in to stall the point.
Lethal needs to play here. Can he find it?
Oh, he goes, no way, Johnny. Crazy Raccoon are holding. It's a nightmare for the North Americans. And they fall at the first hurdle. It is so painful.
How does Max not die there on that defense? It's incredible patient play from Crazy Raccoon. The awareness of the mitigation tools available to them in that kind of composition. And Shu is just, you know, having a field day on that Ana, landing aggressive Biotic Grenades that they can capitalize on, but also keeping Max alive on the Ramattra. And Nightmare, they just couldn't capitalize on the openings they did find. They're hard to come by at this level of play, but there were a couple of times there you have to ask yourself, what could they have done better to close out those fights and get the cap?
Just incredible endurance. Nothing less than perfection required from Nightmare to defend, to make the full hold. Crazy Raccoon can set up themselves perfectly. They're going to have so many opportunities. Nightmare need heroics right now. Admiral is going to go over to the Ana, try to replicate what Shu was able to do on that defense. And Crazy Raccoon can taste the opportunity at a rematch against their nemesis. Falcons await in the grand final. But Crazy Raccoon they're destined to be there. They're destined to take this matchup. Nightmare, interlopers, it seems, only contesting for a mere moment, facing elimination from the tournament. It's been a massive showing from them so far, but Johnny, it feels like it's about to come to an end. Crazy Raccoon are showing no weaknesses, no openings.
Nightmare, everything is so stacked against them.
Oh, lethal! Oh, Johnny, it hurts.
You need to know that the Widowmaker is a possibility, and now Kappa throws himself on the payload. Stall it out.
Zero trade. Hold on. Nightmare found life in this
You need
fight.
to retreat. You
Yeah,
need to regroup here.
So far from the spawn, you're exactly right. Cart is gonna roll. Max playing with confidence. Does get slept. Forced back, using form, but I mean, Cart is rolling forward. You're totally happy with this. In the end, I think those counter kills from Nightmare are gonna get them the opportunity to defend this corner. That is crucial. That keeps them in this map. That makes it possible. But it's not gonna be easy. They need yet more.
Here's the speed ring.
Zera now being attacked from the flank, being pressured. Heavy resource commitment from Crazy Raccoon, trying to clean up that flank. Compass left as well, forced back. Shu is hitting everything today. Moment of stabilization, full cooldowns though. 4 max, starting to move forward, starting to pressure Zera. Caught in the vortex. Compass still holding incredibly well with the lamp.
Oh, lethal again!
Insane kill, Kappa naded, headshot, and everything's falling apart. Zera, the hero in the moment, the deep flank, the second, supports
Wait
are
a
down.
minute! 3v3?
Surely this is too much for him.
Zera's gonna
Here
get
he
the blade!
comes into the back line.
Oh, it goes down.
But he's done enough, I think. Those kills.
You can't stall it out here. Admiral's gonna get close to the nano boost here. Kappa's alive as well. Should be able to get back and stall out this card. Crazy Raccoon, they're going to play it slow here and regroup here.
Zera, the hero that the moment required, kills both supports, denies Crazy Raccoon the easy finish. It's gonna be a fight. Zera has Blade. Such a scary spot to go aggressive though.
Nano blade here.
Lip finds
Lethal
one again. Undeniable. Zera low, gets the nano.
Needs to make a play.
Come out. Here, connection to the back line. Looks for more. Sleep threat. Cocked away. He can't quite get there. He's saying the savior. No, the barrage over the top. Shu stays alive. Lip with another. This man was born to play in the grand finals. Here's Lip now swarmed over by Kappa. But the guard, Johnny. Kappa just barely makes it back in time.
Annihilation
from Max. Kappa responds in kind. But he's the last man standing. Flanked from all sides, and Crazy Raccoon are going to one more grand finals. Nightmare, they came so far. What a showing from them in this tournament. But Crazy Raccoon, nothing less than the best. They were beaten once. They go to the lab, they make the adaptations, and they look unstoppable. This is a different team than we saw yesterday. Unbelievable. What a terrifying foe to face at this moment in the tournament.
Crazy Raccoon here. Like a Titan has just awoken from a slumber. Forced awake by Nightmare in the upper bracket and now in the lower bracket. They've taken out all the teams. Virtus Pro once again. And now dashing the hopes of Nightmare in the lower bracket final. Crazy Raccoons, they advance. And we'll get another rematch of Team Falcons against Crazy Raccoon here at an OWCS major event, Jake. It's just unending. The Korean dominance.
Look, it's a tale as old as time, Johnny. Crazy Raccoon, they put together this team to beat the world, to take home trophies and championships. You can send them down to the lower bracket, but that's just door-to-door service for every other team. We're gonna send you to the airport real quick. No problems. We're gonna make it snappy. Crazy Raccoon, an immaculate 3-0 domination of Nightmare, completely flipping the script from what we saw yesterday. We're gonna send this one over to the desk and have them break it down.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we said it heading into this one. They're coming in to make a statement, and that statement has been received. Nightmare on the receiving end.
Yeah. Well, who expected this?